Good morning, traders. Richard here doing a quick Ichimoku cloud chart market review of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's already on 1.6% today. And the last update, we were right here after this fantastic rebound from critical support zones. Was hoping for Bitcoin to break past the 95,000 upside point of figure chart target as well as this upside resistance targets. These two resistance levels held. And then Bitcoin had a very strong reversal to the downside and is now fighting again at this old 84.4 downside support target. So this old cloud chart support zone is still fighting at that zone. But let's just take a look at a cleaner chart and then we start our analysis. So we look at the cloud chart shadows, these support zones back at the old cloud chart levels there. We can see 79,000 there is a significant zone. And then we have that short one there as well. 80,000 is also a downside support target, could still be tested again. And then this bottom end of the cloud chart shadow, 84,389, is a significant support zone. So it will be interesting to see if Bitcoin can rebound from this 84 zone. The upside resistance targets, once again, is the bottom end of the front end of the cloud here, as well as the top end of the front end of the cloud. These are all upside resistance targets there, roughly that figure there. Let me just try and get that exactly right there. There we go. So you can see this kind of a range that that 93,000 is significant resistance. Also the bottom end of these lows there, roughly that zone there. And then also keep in mind the standard line of the cloud as well as the turning line of the cloud. These are all both significant downside resistance targets there. Price actions below the cloud. Now remember, any kind of swing trades from the support levels are counter trend because the price action is below the cloud. That is ultimately bearish. For Bitcoin to be back in bullish territory, we need to be right up here above the 100,000 zone, or at least above the 93 at that level. So keep that in mind. We are trying to swing trade this counter trend. Let's take a look at the weekly Ichimoku. There we go, huge rebound from the standard line of the Ichimoku cloud, that purple line there, so that's significant, as well as you can see how the front end of the cloud, this 81 zone there, 79, 294 zone is a significant support zone. So when it gets back down to that level, it's another area to be to take another nibble at Bitcoin. But you can also follow that zone, so you can see that line is just underneath that low for the week. So we quite close to a significant weekly cloud chart support zone. Now do remember, Bitcoin tends to have these massive corrections. We had a beautiful cloud chart cross buy signal down there in the weekly, huge run up, became extended from the top in the cloud, plenty of time to bank the profits and wait for the next cloud chart rebound like we had there. So these are kind of the signals we're looking for. Huge rally up, double top, plenty of time to take profits because this rally was quite a strong rally in a very short space of time. Price action then became very extended from the top end of the cloud. We look at the distance between where this price action is and then this top end of the cloud. So that's the other thing to look for. The consolidation started, sell-off started, rolled over, back down, about a 50% retracement of this moves, this one, yeah. So that's encouraging to see, but we can still see this downside support target being tested between 80,857 and 79,294. So keep an eye on those for downside rebound targets. If we break through that support, then we could easily hit the next downside risk target. It's the bottom end of this front end cloud, 73,409, and then back down to this these highs there as well. So these are the downside risk targets, but let's see how it's going to react when it gets back to the turning line of the cloud, the standard line of the cloud there. Sorry, it's the standard line, the purple one. Let's take a look at the 4-hour Ichimoku. Right, here we can see we had a nice little swing trade buy signal, a huge pop up above the top end of the cloud. Then we went to bullish territory, only to be rewarded back down with a bearish outlook when price action sliced through the bottom end of the cloud there. So quite volatile price action there. Now we're looking for support here, and possible support levels on the 4-hour is this front end of the cloud there, 83,140. You can see it's fighting for that support zone. Early indications are that we are looking at a new rally bullish outlook on the 4-hour, but really keep an eye on the cloud. Yeah, if it's twisted to the downside again like that, then we might be heading lower. But we are making a higher high here So it will be interesting to see if we get a follow through of this support to break through the bottom end of the cloud zone here, and then the upside resistance target would be the top end of the cloud there, roughly what, 83,149. So that's the upside resistance target if we get a continuation of this rebound. The downside risk, of course, is if we just make this a little bit smaller, you can see we have a could have a downward continuation pattern, one move down, pull back to the standard line of the cloud, and then another move down to retest this downside target. So there's a significant downside risk back down to 79,294 and 88,557. So keep that in mind. That we are looking for a kind of positive support. If support comes back in at this levels, then we should grind back above the top end of the cloud, and if we back above the top end of the cloud, then we are bullish on the 4-hour Ichimoku. Let's take a look at the hourly. There we go, back below the cloud, bearish on the hourly. Watch out for possible support depending on your trading time frame. Bottom end of the support here, 82,383 is a support zone. If Bitcoin manages to find support here on the 60-minute chart, we could see it rally back up to the standard line of the cloud there, as well as the top end of the cloud, 88,751. That is the upside resistance target, but there's still significant downside target. Look at this bottom in the cloud here. That's another resistance zone, a support zone to keep an eye on. So there could be downside to this in 81,072. So keep an eye out on those critical levels. But let's go back to the daily chart. Watching for potential support to come back into this cluster of support anywhere between 83 and 81, and 79 will possibly be a potential area for another rebound. Just the length of this candle is pretty strong support there, so it will be interesting to see. Actually, it will be healthier for Bitcoin to get to the zone and then rebound strongly from that, and that would be another signal to take a swing trade back up to the 88,000, 93,000, and then the bottom end of the cloud, and the ultimate target there would be the top end of the cloud there. Until next time, happy cloud chart trading. Bye for now.